I'm being harassed by my vegan coworker. I have this vegan coworker Erica who is very active online and in the office about being vegan and how cruel farming and meat eating is. I don't necessarily disagree with her views on animal cruelty, but here's the thing. I'm a hunter, not a trophy hunter, but I do shoot feral pigs, rabbits, ducks, deer and foxes, and I fish too. All except for the fish are classified as pests. Foxes especially kill native wildlife and farm animals, and farmers will often put you up on their property for free to hunt them. I have a license, and I practice ethical hunting, so I allow the animal to have a fair chase. No dogs or tracking devices, and I make my kills swiftly and humanely. I eat everything I hunt, so I do not waste meat. None of that is obviously good enough for Erica. When she first came onto the team at work and told everyone she was vegan, I kept my mouth shut about my hunting. I also think she is really intolerant because she preaches to people about how going vegan will help with their various ailments and always turns up her nose at people heating meat in microwave. As a result, we've kind of consciously started excluding her when we get up for lunch. However, last year I started going hunting more regularly with a work friend from another department whose uncle owns a farm where feral pigs and like are an issue, and he often swings by to have a chat about guns, bows, and our next trip, and she found out I was a hunter. This isn't even at our desks. It's in the kitchen area that has tables and stuff. We sometimes eat our lunches together. Ever since then, every conversation I've had with her, she's referred to hunting and how cruel it is. One time, I wore a leather pencil skirt to work, and she had a go at me for wearing animal products. She seems to have singled me out with as I go hunting. My boss has no spine. I've tried talking to him about this, but she just intimidates him and makes it seem like she's been persecuted, and he will back down from that. She even tried to get a vegan shelf in the fridge and tried to rope in some Hindu vegetarian guys to do that, but they pointed out that they use milk and cheese and honey in their cooking. They also think she's nuts and avoid her as much as they can. She has completely alienated herself at work due to her extreme beliefs. It's gotten to the point where we go out for drinks on a Friday night every week and she is never invited. I don't organize these things, but my boss cornered me and brought up that Erica has mentioned feeling left out and that I should try to include her more. I told my boss I don't organize anything except official events, and she's always been invited. If she's not invited to informal stuff that's not even organized by me, then that's not my problem. The coworker that organizes the happy hours excludes her because she managed to piss him off because he's from Peru and he mentioned once that he has eaten guinea pig before, which is common in Peru, and she had the nerve to ask him if he had eaten any of his other pets. Whenever she tries to talk to me and brings up hunting or anything related to meat, I just point blank ask her if there was anything work related that she wanted to talk about, and if the answer is no, then I would start talking to someone else or just walk off. I have asked her multiple times to keep conversations work related to me, and I never start a conversation with her. Most of the time, she pounces when I'm in the kitchen just trying to mind my own business. Last week a group of us were talking and she got up to join the discussion. A horrible silence fell over the group to the point where I just excused myself and went to my desk, and so did a few others. It all came to a head in our team meeting today when our boss, usually at the ends, asks if there's any positive news or celebrations outside of work people want to share, and Erica piped up and sarcastically asked me how many lives I'd taken last weekend. I got annoyed and said that her constantly badgering me about my hobbies and choice to eat meat felt discriminatory and bothersome, and that unless it was work related, she was not to engage me in conversation because I had no interest in talking to her outside of work. She seemed a bit shocked by that and my boss looked uncomfortable but said fair enough. I thought that was the end of it, but right before the meeting ended, two other coworkers also put their hands up and asked Erica to only engage them in work-related discussions, and that they were also uncomfortable being given advice and criticism regarding their choice to consume meat. My boss looked even more uncomfortable but asked her to respect their wishes and close the meeting. Erica didn't look anyone in the eye after that but headed straight to the bathroom. My boss was trying to get one of the coworkers to see if she was okay, and I think one of them eventually checked up on her, but she was in a cubicle and asked to be left alone. She eventually came out and asked my boss to leave early, which she did. I feel awful now. She embarrassed me in front of my team with the "lives taken" comment, so I pushed back, but I am caught between not wanting her to be miserable at work and not wanting anything to do with her at all. A few of my coworkers and I ended up in a conference call after this with HR, who basically said that always being subjected to unwanted advice about eating meat was not okay, but some mediation was in order to ensure to cut the tension in the workplace. So, the meeting happened on Friday. HR lady was a very much out, let's all get along type and very enthusiastic and eager to mediate with buzzwords and talk about feelings. Erica did come into work the next day but was immediately immediately pulled into a meeting with our boss in HR. I'm pretty sure she tried to make it seem like she had been bullied, which was pretty much what I was expecting. Then the rest of us were called into a meeting with HR to give our points of view. For a minute there it seemed like Erica was about to get away with it, but then my Peruvian coworker brought up cultural insensitivity and the eating your pets comment, and then the HR woman started to look nervous. A few people started laughing at this, and one coworker joked that Erica was like the vegan Amway, always selling something that nobody was interested in. So, I'd been pretty quiet at that point, and HR asked me why I had asked Erica to only speak about work-related matters, and I told her that I'm a hunter and how she had kept on calling it murder. I explained that talking to Erica was stressful and demoralizing, and she'd refused to respect my boundaries when I asked her to keep things work-related. So, then the mediation begun and Erica was brought in and other coworkers left. I basically said exactly what I'd said before to her with HR and our boss there. I told her that I respected her lifestyle choices and how passionate she was, but I disagreed with her on certain points, and even if she didn't agree with my lifestyle choices, it was unfair of her to single me out or harass me about them. Erica said that to her, what I was doing was morally unconscionable and she didn't believe in exploiting and hurting animals. I told her that her iPhone, her clothes, and her computer were all produced by human exploitation, and it was great that she had her thing to try and improve the world, but I also had a different perspective and different issues I was more passionate about, and that I had respected her point of view and she should respect mine. Erica's response to all of this was, it's still murder. HR looked annoyed at this point and told her that she needed to try and find some middle ground and respect her coworkers. So, I turned to HR and said that this was why there was no middle ground, and that's why I thought about keeping things civil and work related, because in the end we are here to do a job. HR agreed, boss agreed, I agreed, Erica begrudgingly agreed, and our wrote all this down to put it in the record. The meeting ended and we all went our separate ways, pretty much avoiding each other for the rest of the day. My plan is to just keep it civil like HR said and let Erica continue to dig her own hole. I still feel a bit sorry for her. She is clearly isolated at work and is miserable, but I just cannot bring myself to be around her any more than I have to be.